Peace websites at curlie. Chapter 1. Peace websites. Peace activism and job websites at curlie.org/en/society/issues/peace/activism_and_peace_work. prop1.org, 1601 Pennsylvania Avenue. Grassroots voter initiative movement for disarmament of nuclear weapons and the conversion of the arms industries to human and environmental needs. News, events, petition, resources, and ways to become involved. abolItion2000.org, Abolition 2000. Network of over 2,000 organizations in more than 90 countries working for a global treaty to eliminate nuclear weapons. Working groups, members, news, resources, and suggestions for action. ajmusde.org, AJ Must Memorial Institute. Non-profit charitable foundation established in 1974 to honor the legacy of pacifist leader A.J. Must and to further his belief that nonviolent action is the means to achieve social and economic justice. Provides biography of Must, publications, as well as information on grants and sponsorships. AnswerCoalition.org, Act Now to Stop War and End Racism, Answer. News, action alerts, upcoming events, flyers and fact sheets. CPT.org, Christian Peacemaker Teams. Responding to Christ's call to confront injustice, its members attempt to bring the redemptive love of God to violent situations through direct, personal involvement. FAQ, calendar, history, and mission, and action alerts. Crisisgroup.org, International Crisis Group. Independent, non-profit, non-governmental organization committed to preventing and resolving deadly conflict. DEAR_MR_PRESIDENT.tripod.com, Dear Mr. President, Words of Resistance, Reason, and Peace. Features letters to the U.S. President urging him to pursue peace and nonviolence instead of war in the wake of the September 11 terrorist attacks. Also provides suggestions for activism and letter writing, as well as quotations on war and peace. DisarmSecure.org, Disarmament and Security Centre. New Zealand-based resource centre for alternative thinking on disarmament and security issues. EPFnational.org, Episcopal Peace Fellowship. Aids and encourages all Episcopalians to strive for justice and peace among all people and to bear nonviolent witness to Christ's call to peace. Action updates and contact information for interest groups and local chapters. Freewayblogger.com, the Freeway Blogger Anti-War Signs. Examples of anti-war signs seen on California's freeways and other cities. Instructions on how to make your own. hdcenter.org, Center for Humanitarian Dialogue. Organization dedicated to the promotion of humanitarian principles, the prevention of conflict, and the alleviation of its effects through dialogue. Humanitad.org, the Humanitad Foundation. Promoting and encouraging intercultural and interreligious goodwill amongst the countries and the creeds of the world. IACenter.org, International Action Center. Provides information, activism, and resistance to U.S. militarism, war, and corporate greed. Action alerts, news, and analysis of events around the world. ICBL.org, International Campaign to Ban Landmines. Brings together over 1,300 groups in over 90 countries who work locally, nationally, regionally, and internationally to ban anti-personnel mines. international-alert.org, International Alert. Independent, non-governmental organization that works at local, national, regional, and global levels to generate conditions and processes conducive to the cessation of war and the generation of sustainable peace. Publications, field projects, news, and events. IOFC.org, Initiatives of Change. A worldwide community of people of diverse cultures and backgrounds, committed to the transformation of society through changes in human motives and behavior, starting with their own. IPB.org, International Peace Bureau. Federation founded in 1892 supports peace and disarmament initiatives and creates international projects. Also acts as publishing house and conference organizer. Member organizations, publications, events, programs, and opportunities for involvement. IraqBodyCount.org, Iraq Body Count. Project to establish an independent and comprehensive public database of media-reported civilian deaths in Iraq resulting directly from military action by the USA and its allies. Offers incident-by-incident online database and free web counters. IWPR.net, Institute for War and Peace Reporting. Strengthens local journalism in areas of conflict. By training reporters, facilitating dialogue, and providing reliable information, it supports peace, democracy, and development in societies undergoing crisis and change. Includes news, programs, and ways to get involved. JewishPeaceFellowship.org, Jewish Peace Fellowship. Jewish voice in the peace community and a peace voice in the Jewish community. A non-denominational Jewish organization committed to active nonviolence as a means of resolving conflict, drawing on Jewish traditional sources within the Torah, the Talmud, and contemporary peacemaking sages. JewishVoiceForPeace.org, Jewish Voice for Peace. SF Bay Area grassroots organization dedicated to the rights of Jews, Palestinians, and all peoples in the Middle East. They believe conflict won't end until Israel removes settlements. Action alerts, calendar of events, listserv, activism resources, and petition. Kroc.nd.edu, the Joan B. Kroc Institute for International Peace Studies. Institute at the University of Notre Dame conducts educational, research, and outreach programs on international peace. LIFE-PEACE.org, Life and Peace Institute. An international and ecumenical center for peace research and action. Uses a combination of research, seminars, and publications. MusicalMissions.com, Musical Missions. 2 Americans building understanding between America and the Arab world through playing popular Arabic music. MiceHealGoldberg.com/fans for peace, Goo Goo Dolls Fans for Peace. Uniting fans of the Goo Goo Dolls to work for peace and encourage the band to continue speaking out against war. Events, protest tips, message board, photo gallery, peace art, and poetry. NebraskansForPeace.org, Nebraskans for Peace. Statewide grassroots advocacy organization working nonviolently for peace with justice through community building, education and political action. Publishes annual Cat Lovers Against the Bomb calendar. NoMoreVictims.org, No More Victims. Dedicated to informing the public about the human costs of U.S. foreign policy and putting a name and a face to the invisible victims. Provides ideas for action and involvement, photographs, news, and links. NonviolentJesus.blogspot.com, Nonviolent Jesus. An unofficial weblog by a member of the Catholic peace movement Pax Christi, to highlight church teachings that nonviolence is at the heart of the gospel. OneWorldOnePeople.org, One World One People for Peace. Group working to turn the concept of world peace from a theoretical ideal into a practical, workable reality. Promotes volunteering all over the world. Mission statement, articles, and links to volunteer opportunities. PAX.org, Program of Academic Exchange. Fosters the development of young people and supports international peace, friendship, and cross-cultural understanding through students' homestays in foreign countries. Staff, programs, and requirements for hosts. PaxChristi.net, Pax Christi International. A non-profit, non-governmental Catholic peace movement working on a global scale on a wide variety of issues in the fields of human rights, security and disarmament, economic justice and ecology. PeaceBrigades.org, Peace Brigades International. Provides nonviolent international support in violent conflict areas, offering unarmed protective accompaniment to individuals and groups threatened with violence and human rights abuses. PeacefulTomorrows.org, Peaceful Tomorrows. An advocacy organization founded by family members of September 11 victims. Its mission is to seek effective nonviolent responses to terrorism, and identify a commonality with all people similarly affected by violence throughout the world. PeaceJam.org, Peace Jam. An international education program built around leading Nobel Peace Laureates with the goal to inspire a new generation of peacemakers who will transform their local communities, themselves, and the world. PeaceTax7.com, PeaceTax7. 7 war tax resistors who are seeking a change in the law to allow them and other conscientious objectors to divert their taxes spent on war to finance nonviolent methods of solving conflicts. Plowshares.org, Plowshares Fund. Public grant-making foundation that supports initiatives for stopping the spread of weapons of war, from nuclear arms to landmines. ppu.org.uk, Peace Pledge Union. Wide range of resources on peace, war, conflict, and nonviolence. Reflective and factual material, including resources for pupils and teachers. PSR.org, Physicians for Social Responsibility, PSR. A medical and public health group working to prevent the use or spread of nuclear weapons and to slow, stop and reverse global warming and toxic degradation of the environment. RefusingToKill.net, Refusing to Kill. Encouraging people in the military to get out. CIPAZ.org, International Service for Peace. Coalition of North American, Latin American, and European organizations formed in 1995 to support the peace process in Chiapas, Mexico. SPACE4PEACE.org, Global Network Against Weapons and Nuclear Power in Space. Global Network Against Weapons and Nuclear Power in Space. Tamara.org, Tamara, Center for Human Ecology. A cooperative of people in Portugal whose goal is the development of a healing biotope, where several hundred people can live together with all fellow beings using the principle of nonviolent cooperation to create a base for global peace work. TrekForTruth.org, Trek for Truth. A wandering dialogue across America. TribeOfHeart.org, Tribe of Heart. Making use of storytelling, visual media, and the arts to present a vision of a compassionate future. Inspirational quotes and articles, email discussion list, action opportunities, newsletter, and events. URI.org, United Religions Initiative. Works to promote enduring, daily interfaith cooperation, to end religiously motivated violence, and to create cultures of peace, justice, and healing for the earth and all living beings. Programs, FAQ, news, events, and resources. Warchild.org, Warchild. Network of independent organizations working across the world to help children affected by war. WFM-IGP.org, World Federalist Movement, Institute for Global Policy. An advocate for global governance and United Nations reform along Federalist principles. WorldPeace.org, World Peace Prayer Society. Non-profit, non-sectarian organization dedicated to spreading the message and prayer may peace prevail on earth. Programs include the Peace Pole Project, Peace Pals, and Youth for Peace. Peace activist petitions. ThePTTOnsite.com, look for anti-war petitions. ThePTTOnsite.com/takeaction/6876283335, Global Manifest in Favor of Peace and Pacifist Political Decisions, No to Death. Yes to Life. It's high time to put an end to all wars. They only spread pain, hatred, and miseries, apart from the interests that may lie underneath. Women peace activist websites at curlie.org/en/society/issues/peace/activism_and_peace_work/women. Anothermother.org, Another Mother for Peace. Non-profit, non-partisan association dedicated to eliminating the use of war as a means of solving disputes among nations, people, and ideologies. Includes activities and a newsletter. BPeace.org, Business Council for Peace. Group of businesswomen dedicated to helping women in regions of conflict and post-conflict build businesses to sustain their families and strengthen their abilities to foster peace. Projects, news, peace shop, and membership information. CodePink.org, Code Pink. Calls on women around the world to rise up and oppose the war in Iraq and future wars. Encourages all actions, from public education and free speech to nonviolent civil disobedience that can disrupt the progress toward war. Action alerts, sign up for email updates, message board for women to share their experiences working for peace, vigil news, and upcoming events. CSJP.org, Congregation of the Sisters of Saint Joseph of Peace. Promoting social justice as a path to peace. International Roman Catholic Religious Congregation of Women founded in 1884 to further the work of peace. History, mission, program information, reflections from imprisoned sisters, and links to related sites. WomenAgainstNATO.org, Global Women for Peace United Against NATO. Protesting Actions and Politics of NATO. Information about events, webinars, and a declaration collecting signatures. GrandmothersForPeace.org, Grandmothers for Peace International. Initially campaigning for peace and the abolition of all nuclear weapons, its work has expanded to include nuclear power, nuclear testing, the nuclearization and weaponization of space, global militarism, and other peace and justice issues that affect the human family. Offers action alerts and opportunities for activism from home. Shin's home agenda eco.net/akuyo, akuyo Conant Taiko drummer. Sensei Conant's statement about active engagement for peace and self-worth. Includes photos and contact information. Sandiego.edu/peace/institute-for-peace-justice/women-peace-security/women-waging-peace, Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice. Brings together women from diverse areas of conflict around the world to share peace-building strategies, sharpen skills, and shape public policy. Mission, contact information, policy initiatives, and research center. LisIStrataProjectArchive.com/lis, the Lysistrata Project Archive. A peace protest initiative, CO founded by New York actresses Catherine Bloom and Sharon Bauer, held on March 3, 2003. Readings of Aristophanes' play Lysistrata, in reaction to the Iraq disarmament crisis. 1000PEACEWOMEN.org, Peace Women Across the Globe. Works to connect and strengthen efforts worldwide. Includes projects, news, forum, and events. Peacewomen.org, Peace Women. The Women, Peace, and Security Program of the Women's International League for Peace and Freedom, WILPF. WomenInBlack.org, Women in Black. Not an organization, but a means of mobilization and a formula for action. Members stand in silent vigil to protest war, rape as a tool of war, ethnic cleansing, and human rights abuses all over the world. WillPFUS.org, Women's International League for Peace and Freedom. Founded in 1915, group works to achieve world disarmament, full rights for women, racial and economic justice, and an end to all forms of violence. Information on history of organization, campaigns, and internships. Chapter 2. Regional peace activist websites at culi.org/en/society/issues/peace/activism_and_peace_work/regional. Regional peace activist websites. Tutu.org.za, Desmond and Leah Tutu Legacy Foundation. Works to build peace by nurturing visionary leadership. Information about Desmond Tutu, library, calendar of events, and information about awards. Ecosonline.org, European Coalition on Oil in Sudan. European organizations working for peace for Sudan are calling for action by European governments and oil companies to ensure that Sudan's oil wealth ceases to fuel war. History, mission, reports, members, and links to oil companies. InDialogue.in, Indialogue Foundation. Aims to promote and to encourage intercivilizational, international, intercultural, interfaith, intercommunal, and interracial dialogue, understanding and tolerance, harmony, coexistence, cooperation and peace. NobelPeaceCenter.org, the Nobel Peace Center. Presents Nobel Peace Laureates and their work and offers information and discussion about peace, war, and conflict resolution. Oslo, Norway. Peace.net.nz, the Peace Foundation. New Zealand organisation promoting peaceful relationships through education, research, and action. United States peace activist websites at culi.org/en/society/issues/peace/activism_and_peace_work/regional/united_states Subcategories: 36 U.S. states. BPFNA.org, Baptist Peace Fellowship of North America. Uniting and enabling Christians to make peace with justice in a warring world. News, events, listserv, partner congregations, resources, and suggestions for action. DePachiMinterres.pbworks.com, Delaware PACM Interis. JRPC.org, Jeanette Rankin Peace Center. Works to connect and empower people to build a socially just, nonviolent, and sustainable community and world. Calendar of events, issue information, resources, and action alerts. MilitaryFamiliesSpeakOut.com, Military Families Speak Out. NWTRCC.org, National War Tax Resistance Coordinating Committee. A coalition of groups from across the U.S. formed to provide information and support to people involved in or considering some form of war tax resistance. PaxChristiUSA.org, Pax Christi USA. PeaceAction.org, Peace Action. PeaceAlliance.org, The Peace Alliance. PeaceRoots.org, Peace Roots Alliance. Seeks to create a peaceful, just, and sustainable world for future generations by emphasizing our common humanity, promoting nonviolence, and working to remove the root causes of war. Group's history, program information, listserv, and photos. TulsaPeaceFellowship.ning.com, The Tulsa Peace Fellowship. TulsaPeace.wordpress.com, Tulsa Peace Fellowship, Northeast Oklahoma. UnitedForPeace.org, United for Peace. Brings together a broad range of organizations throughout the United States to coordinate work against a U.S. war on Iraq. Events calendar, action alerts, local and national contacts, and resources for organizing. USIP.org, United States Institute of Peace. Independent, nonpartisan federal institution created and funded by Congress to strengthen the nation's capacity to promote the peaceful resolution of international conflict. The Institute meets its congressional mandate through an array of programs, including grants, fellowships, conferences and workshops, library services, publications, and other educational activities. VeteransForPeace.org, Veterans for Peace. A non-profit educational and humanitarian organization of vets dedicated to increasing public awareness of the costs of war, the end the arms race and war, justice for vets and war victims, and restraining government from getting involved in violent conflicts. Canada Peace Activist websites at curlie.org/en/society/issues/peace_and_peace_work/regional/Canada. CanadianPeaceInitiative.ca, Canadian Peace Initiative. Aims to advance a culture of peace and nonviolence, at home and abroad. Includes academic and organizational texts. CJPME.org, Canadians for Justice and Peace in the Middle East. To positively influence both the government's foreign policy in the Middle East and the media's portrayal of current events and people in the region. COAT.ncf.ca, Coalition to Oppose the Arms Trade, COAT. National organization educating around Canada's arms trade and working towards conversion and peace issues. Includes articles, events, quarterly magazine, and contact information. GPCCanada.org, Global Peace Centre Canada. An organization developing peace education resources, professional development of teachers, exchange programs, and scholarships for youth with an equal participation of girls and women in conflict-affected countries and Canada. HomesNotBombsNo.ca, Homes Not Bombs. All volunteer, Ontario-wide coalition of people who use nonviolent direct action in an attempt to confront institutional and personal violence. Recent and ongoing campaigns, news, photos, and opportunities for involvement. npcanada.org, Nonviolent Peace Force Canada. Founded in 2000 to teach the techniques of nonviolence and peaceful conflict resolution to Canadians and to help create an international nonviolent peace force to send to conflict areas worldwide. Events, newsletter, and resources. sarniapeace.tripod.com, Peaceworks. Group in Sarnia, Ontario devoted to promoting peace in the community and the world. Events, photos, media, and contact information. RadicalCitizenMedia.com, Radical Citizen Media. Documenting progressive social movements and citizen engagement in Edmonton. ScienceForPeace.org, Science for Peace. A charitable Canadian-based organization of natural scientists, engineers, social scientists, scholars in the humanities and lay people throughout the world that brings together professors, graduate students, and first-degree students who are concerned about peace, justice and making an environmentally sustainable future. StopWARCA.wordpress.com, StopWar.ca, Vancouver. A coalition of organizations, businesses, and individuals responding to international calls for action, education, mass mobilization and lobbying against war and for peace and justice in the Middle East. United Kingdom peace activist websites at curlie.org/en/regional/Europe/society_and_culture/activism/peace. bathstopwar.org.uk, Bath Stop the War Coalition. Broad coalition of campaigners and activists aligned against wars, especially those in Afghanistan and Iraq. Forthcoming events, war and peace news from around the world, book reviews, and message board. RussFound.org, the Bertrand Russell Peace Foundation. The foundation was formed to further the cause of peace, and to assist in the pursuit of freedom and justice. Angelfire.com/electronic/action-for-peace/index.htm, Brighton and Hove Action for Peace. Local group taking nonviolent forms of action for peace. Online newsletter. CambridgeClarion.org, Cambridge Clarion Group. Aims of the group are to stop the bombing of Afghanistan and to stop the bombing of innocent people everywhere. Strategies, upcoming local and national events, articles, and photos. CAAT.org.uk, Campaign Against Arms Trade. Campaigns for the reduction and ultimate abolition of the international arms trade and the UK's role in it as a leading arms exporter. News, reports, information, newsletter, events diary, and suggestions for activism. CNDUK.org, Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. Campaigns nonviolently to rid the world of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction. Information sheets, news, briefings, and reports, press release archive, and diary of upcoming events and actions. ChristianCND.org.uk, Christian Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. London-based group of Christians witnessing on the basis of their faith against nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction, while also positively campaigning for peace. Press releases, event calendar, FAQ, and membership information. churchillbust.co.uk, the Churchill Bust. A campaign for the return of the Jacob Epstein bust of Winston Churchill, loaned by Tony Blair to George Bush. UlsterProjCincy.org, Cincinnati Ulster Project. The Cincinnati-based branch of the Ulster Project is dedicated to fostering peaceful resolution of the violence in Northern Ireland. Offers information on its history as well as how anyone can get involved in OUT project. Angelfire.com %2f Darkside %2f Northwood %2f. TheForgivenessProject.com, The Forgiveness Project. Grassroots organization working in conflict resolution, reconciliation, and victim support. Features stories of forgiveness, news, and community involvement. IOFC.org.uk, Initiatives of Change UK. Branch of an international network of people working for reconciliation and justice, locally and globally, starting with change in their own lives. Formerly known as MRA. Includes news, articles, contact information, and links to related sites. kpc.gn.apc.org, Kingston Peace Council /Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. Local peace and nuclear disarmament group working in the Kingston-upon-Thames area of southwest London. Newsletter, forthcoming events and articles. Facebook.com/Labour Against the War, Labour Against the War. Unofficial page ran by Labour Party members and affiliates who support the Stop the War coalition. TheMHAC.uk, Mean with Hill Accountability Campaign. Opposed to risk to the Yorkshire and wider UK population from the United States surveillance and military activity, and campaigning for the accountability of their programs. AbolishWar.net, Movement for the Abolition of War. Building a civil society movement for the abolition of war by challenging popular thinking about the acceptability of war and raising awareness of constructive alternatives. Includes events calendar, reasons to abolish war, resources, and membership form. Networkforpeace.org.uk, Network for Peace. Organization-based network which acts as a contact point for queries about peace organizations, actions, vigils, and demonstrations. News, events diary, and membership information. ncpo.org.uk, Network of Christian Peace Organizations. UK-based ecumenical network committed to peace as central to the meaning of church community. nsbm.wordpress.com, Nottingham Student Peace Movement. Anti-War, pro-peace organization made up of students at the University of Nottingham. Includes events, photos, list of books for loan, newsletter, and contact information. Nukewatch.org.uk, Nukewatch UK. Network of individuals who monitor and track the movement of British WMDs from Aldermaston in Berkshire to Cowalport on the west coast of Scotland. Offers news, resources, and ways to become involved. peacenews.info, Peace News. Magazine focusing on peace issues and nonviolent social change. Peace.fm, Peace Not War. Provides lyrics and audio from CD of anti-war songs by various artists. Includes anti-war art, peace group search engine, musicians' statements, and information on where to buy the compilation CD. ScottishPSC.org.uk, Scottish Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Main emphasis is to enlighten the Scottish government and the public of the reality of Palestinian life under Israeli rule in Palestinian-occupied territories. News, publications, upcoming events, campaigns, and suggestions for activism. StudentStopWar.org.uk, Students Against the War UK. Interactive site for school and university students involved in the anti-war movement. Includes first-hand reports from protests, discussion forums, and calendar of forthcoming actions. Tayside for USTICINEPalestine.org, Tayside for Justice in Palestine. Broad-based movement in Tayside to support the Palestinians' struggle for justice. Tim Parry Jonathan Ball Foundation.org.uk, the Tim Parry Jonathan Ball Peace Foundation. Campaign working to develop in young people a better understanding of the nature and causes of conflict and equip them with peace-building skills. Mission, programs, ways to become involved. TridentPlowshares.org, Trident Plowshares. Campaign to disarm the UK Trident nuclear weapons system in a non-violent, open, peaceful, and fully accountable manner. Background, news, events, newsletters, handbook, and petitions. StopWar.org.uk, UK Stop the War Coalition. Bringing together diverse groups and individuals to stop the war by the USA and Great Britain on Afghanistan and to argue for peace and justice. Provides news, articles, mailing lists, calendar of peace events throughout England and Wales, photos and resources for groups and individuals. YorkshireCND.org.uk, Yorkshire CND. Campaigns locally and provides information on peace and nuclear issues. Events diary, ways to become involved, news, and resources. War and Peace websites at curlie.org/en/society/philosophy/ethics/applied/war_and_peace. Abelard.org/briefings/just_war.htm, Abelard, The Just War. Short paper discussing the notion of just war in historic context and with reference to current affairs, 2002. Chronicle.com/article/when-teaching-the-ethics-of/4449, The Chronicle, When Teaching the Ethics of War is Not Academic. By Shannon E. French. Ethics instructor discusses teaching what makes professional soldiers different than terrorists. iep.utm.edu/war, Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, The Philosophy of War. Introductory article covering war, What Causes War, Human Nature and War and Political and Moral Philosophy. news.bbc.co.uk/1/hi/UK/2866581.stm, BBC News, UK troops told, be just and strong. British troops waiting to attack Iraq are told to be ferocious in battle, but magnanimous in victory. plato.stanford.edu/entries/war, article on the ethics of war and peace, the just war theory, and Pacificism. From the Stanford Encyclopedia, by Brian D. Orend.